I just wanted to say I heard the terrible news of Christopher Lee dying. It wasn't as personal for me as it was with Leonard Nimoy's death because Leonard Nimoy had actually met once and was heavily influenced by his work in Star Trek, growing up watching Star Trek reruns. But Christopher Lee, yeah, and it makes me sad. He was a brilliant man, a brilliant actor. Um, I know him most for playing Count Dooku. He also did the voice of Count Dooku in the Clone Wars cartoon, which was awesome. So he did awesome work also in Lord of the Rings and Count Dracula. I think when I was a young kid, I watched one of his films, but it's been so long, I only have vague memories of him being in it as Dracula and being scary, but I don't remember the plot or the gist other than it's a horror film and Dracula is sucking people's blood and killing people. I'll have to actually maybe try to revisit that because I don't really remember much of that. But what I have respect for him the most is his role as Count Dooku in Star Wars Episode Two and Star Wars Episode Three, as well as he embodied the voice role in the Clone Wars. So it was an awesome character. The character was royalty, and so he had, with the British accent, he had kind of that royal tone to the character that I don't know. He did a good job fleshing out Count Dooku and how Count Dooku was disillusioned as a man, and he allowed himself go to the dark side of the Force and allowed himself to eventually be consumed and betrayed by that in the end. But I love the Star Wars prequel films. I think people are starting to turn around. When I went to Star Wars Celebration this year, there were some people who their favorite film was Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Some people had only seen the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels cartoons. Especially a lot of younger fans are a little bit more open-minded and are more welcome, or they have a more welcome view to the newer trilogy as well as the new films that are yet to come out, including Star Wars Episode 7, of course. But I even though I was a classic fan of classic Star Wars trilogy, I love the new trilogy, and that's what I will remember Christopher Lee for the most. And it makes me sad. I wish I could have at least met him once, and I'll never be able to do that. Apparently, he died on June the 7th, and it didn't get released publicly by his family until 4 days later. And so it's still sad, terrible news. He was 93 years old. He had a good, long, full life, and apparently he still got a movie in pre-production. I'm not sure how much he'll be in it. A movie called The 11th, and I probably wouldn't have been curious about this movie, but considering that it is his last work, I will probably check it out when it comes out. Hopefully, if I'm still around and everything's going okay. I'm here in the hotel, resting up, and it's also been raining. But yeah, so I'm sad about Christopher Lee dying. A terrible loss. I had hoped that he would live to be at least 100, if not more. But we all can't live forever. It is about what we leave behind, and he left behind a legacy of more than 115 films, and played an awesome character, Count Dooku, and that's all I can say. Anyway, I have great respect for Christopher Lee. May his memory rest in peace.